AMD Radeon RX 470. It's the Sapphire OC overclocked version with 4 gigabytes. It's out now. This one goes for $210 from Newegg, I believe. These cards start at $180. Out now. My cat is causing a fuss, but I'm just going to keep recording. I don't care. This is the review. I'm going to jump right into it. Let's start with what I like. This card kind of fits in the middle of AMD's new RX line of 400 series cards. There's 460 coming out soon, 470 now, 480 came out a little bit ago. I really like the 480. And what I like here is that this, I'm going to put this down because it's just rattling. The card's actually in there. What I like about the 470 is that it does exactly what AMD promised. When the company released the 480s, they said this is our VR card. This is the card for people who want to jump into high-end gaming and virtual reality. Here with the 470, this is a 1080p 60 frames per second card. That's how AMD is marketing it. And the good news is, the one thing I really like, it nails that. It does a really good job. I wouldn't say it's always locked at 60 in every game at max settings. But once you kind of fiddle around with just a few things, some shadows here and there, you can get stuff like Witcher running really well, close to ultra, in between high and ultra, Fallout 4, GTA 5, all these games that are big, recent, graphics card intensive releases. They all run really well, and anything that's sort of, especially attuned to an AMD card like Hitman, for example, if you get DirectX 12 on there, that runs super well. I'll throw up some of the benchmarking I did. What I did here is I just wanted to test AMD's claim. So I just threw about 12 games at the card with my Core i5, 16 gigabytes of memory, kind of a decent high-end, middle-of-the-road machine. And what I did is I just wanted to test the claim, like I said, to see if games would reach that 60 frames per second threshold. And most did. Here it is. You can see that the Witcher on Ultra, that's Witcher 3, struggled a bit. Had some issues with frame rate. But the good news there is once I started fiddling, like I said, I just dropped some shadows. First I did it on high, and I got up to 60 frames pretty closely, close enough that it wasn't an issue. And then once I messed around with the shadows, a few other things, everything kind of ran really well, and it was like, okay, this is it. This is a really good card for $180. But that kind of brings me into what I don't like. When you compare this card kind of one-to-one to the RX 480 starting at $200, you start to get to a point where why would you ever choose the 470? The weirder thing is, the version I have, the Sapphire, is $210. That's $10 more than the base model of the 470. And the 480 does it is better. You get better performance. I was consistently getting more than 10-15% of an increase on the 480 compared to the 470. So I just don't know why you would choose the 470 when the 480 is right there. Here's just kind of a one-to-one comparison between the two. I compared the 12 games again: Rocket League, Doom, BioShock Infinite, The Division, Dying Light, Hitman, Dark Souls 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, Fallout 4, and The Witcher 3. I think, is that 12 games? I don't know. Whatever. I compared all those games, and you can see here that the 480 definitely performed better. And again, to clarify, I have the more expensive version of the 480s, $240, I believe, as 8 gigabytes of memory, video memory in there. But that, I mean, you're not gonna lose that much if you go down to the $200 version. So I just don't know who the 470 is for. If you just hate the idea of VR and you want to save an extra $20, I guess. But if you get the 480, you don't really have to turn down some of the settings in The Witcher 3 to get 60 frames per second, is what I found. So yeah, I think I'm actually going to wrap it up. I'm going to do a quicker video because, 470, once the 460 is out, maybe we might revisit this, kind of look at the whole line of AMD cards. But let's kind of wrap it up. I think AMD sort of put itself in a corner with the 480. and it's a good corner. The 480 is just it's priced so aggressively at $200 that it left AMD no room with its other Radeon cards. The 470 comes in and wants to slot in somewhere in the middle, but it's not going to sell the 460 for 75 bucks. It's probably going to sell it not even for like 99. It's going to be somewhere in the $125, $150 range. So where the hell do you put the 470? And so in the end, what this means is the 470 just feels like it has nowhere. It has no home. It doesn't fit in this market when you compare it. When you start comparing and contrasting to other options available. However, what it does do is it really just hits home how good of a deal the RX 480 really is. At $200, at even $240 for the more expensive version, AMD really kind of said, hey, we're getting aggressive. We're putting this card out there, and we want you all to know it. And now you do, because it's like, okay, the 470 is only a little bit cheaper, but you get so much more out of the 480 that it's like, okay, obviously the choice is clear. So I almost look at the 470 as like marketing for the 480. That's where I'm at. If you have a situation where you think the 470 makes sense for you, let me know. Maybe I just don't have a great imagination. Let me know what you think. I'm sure some people out there will think maybe I'm crazy for saying those things, but I have a hard time recommending the 470 when the 480 and even the NVIDIA 1060 is just a little bit more expensive and gets you quite a bit more performance. Those are both right there saying, hey, what are you doing? Not just, spending a little bit more. So yeah, I think that does it. Overall, it's a good card. I would never say it's not a good card, because it was delivering all the performance that I kind of want on a 1080p monitor. But it doesn't make a lot of sense at that price. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Jeff Grubb, GamesBeat. You can get more of us on GamesBeat.com. Read the full review there. I'll try to have some more benchmarks up, especially once the 460 comes out. We'll do a full suite comparing everything. So thanks for watching. Jeff Grubb, GamesBeat. I'll catch you next time.